Good morning, and welcome back to, I guess, the 88. We're kicking off with Sainte Marguerite. If you're thinking of it in terms of golf, we're in the back 10. We're going from 11 to 20 right now. So Sainte Marguerite is had a couple surprises for me because it is the southern and easternmost quarter in the 11th arrondissement of Paris. And I expected it to start in Bastille, but it doesn't. It starts a little bit past Bastille. So when you're leaving the Place de la Bastille, or the Bastille Square, you want to make sure that you take the right road, the Faubourg Saint-Antoine. Not down this way, that way. And this word Faubourg has been haunting me for the last few weeks because I don't know who this Faubourg guide is. So I figured I'd finally look it up, and it turns out Faubourg is just another word for district or suburb. It never ends. So all these Faubourg, Saint-Martin, Faubourg Saint-Antoine, Faubourg de everything is another district that we're not going to get that deep into. That's way too much. We're already deep enough as it is. So the boundaries are blessedly simple. It's basically a triangle between Faubourg Saint-Antoine, and then we have Rue de Charonne and Boulevard Charonne. And of course, there's always a rue and a boulevard named the same thing, because why not? But makes it fairly simple to figure out what our boundaries are. And the very first thing that we need to do, because I just went for a 10K this morning that somebody skipped out on this morning, is find lunch. I'm starving. And there we go.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. As long as you're on the left side of the street, I guess. This is Anne, by the way. I didn't say your name on camera. People don't like it when I don't say people's names on camera. Which direction do you want to go? You want to go northish or you want to go eastish?
Go north.
Okay, sounds great. It's also going to be really interesting to see how this goes for finding lunch, because now that we're under curfew, I'm kind of wondering how many restaurants are just like gonna close up entirely.
No.
You think most of them will still keep doing lunch and everything else?
Yeah.
I hope so. There's some really cool stuff on that side of the street, but we're not allowed to go over there. And down that street over there too, Rue de Lep. We'll get there someday. Yeah. We'll get there someday in like 3 months or something. Had another thing. For those of you that were worried that because my sunglasses got stolen, they weren't the orange sunglasses. They were my black sunglasses. So for those of you that were worried and asking about that, I still have these guys, but I do need to get some new ones soon because they're a little bit chipped up and off kilter. Fixed.
Maybe?
Bistro Abby. Oh yeah. What is this? Oh, look at that. This is right up my alley.
Should we go in here?
You want to, yeah, let's try it. This is great. Les couves de fauve. All right. Should we sit outside? Are you okay with that? Are you cold? Oh, I thought you were from Scotland. All right, let's go. Let's go inside. Bonjour. Merci, monsieur. Okay, cheers. That's really nice. I got a New England IPA. What is it? The Elevated Dream, I believe is the name of this in English. Réveillé.
You're asking the person.
No, that'd be Elevate. I should know that. I'll put it below. What'd you get?
Tropic.
Tropic like something or other?
Pina colada beer.
Does it taste like a pina colada?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Sort of.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Ok. Vous faites-tu les bières ici?
Pas toutes.
Pas toutes, mais...
Seulement les bières fauves.
Oui. Donc, et le reste sont des invités.
Exactement.
Yep, so they make all the beer here. Just to translate. So Fauve is the name of the brasserie, or the brewery. I'm useless. Fauve is the name of the beer, so if you come here and you get a Fauve beer, they made it here. So it's homemade, or it's made right here. And then they have a bunch of guest beers as well. But it feels very, I love coming to a tap house like this because it feels very homey. Merci.
Vous avez tout ce qu'il vous faut, ouais, c'est bon.
It came really fast. Merci encore.
Merci à vous.
Au revoir, à bientôt. So this one, I think this one's the one that'll take you pretty much all the way there.
Yeah.
Time to head back. Alrighty. Good luck getting that stuff knocked off your list.
Thank you.
And thanks for lunch.
No worries.
And
Enjoy your afternoon.
Sounds good.
I hope you find some really cool places.
Oh, I'm gonna find some cool stuff. Alright, so I'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shy. See you later.
Alright, bye. Alright, we've lost Anne, which I guess I could have walked down that street with her for a little bit. I'm gonna take the next right, whatever it is, wherever it leads me. I don't know where I'm headed, but I know I got to explore. It was really fun. That was great. The brewery is really fun. The staff was really nice. The beer was good. I really enjoyed my beer, and the burger was awesome. Totally would recommend. I added it to my Mapster for my patrons. Speaking of patrons, today's patron producer is Carter Blumeyer. But Carter, thank you for sending me out here, and thanks to all my patrons for making this possible in the first place. And, you know, sending me around Paris to explore and share the results. And of course, there's a map. I keep forgetting to say that there's a map over on Patreon as well if you want to follow along with my exploits where I cut everything up into quarters. But until then, you know, let's just keep on wandering in Sainte Marguerite. Ooh, this is a good right to take. There are a lot of little parks scattered around here with which I'm not that familiar. I've been here before. I've definitely been down this street before, but I don't know the name of this park. So let's go find out. Struggle. Oh, here we go. Just gonna cross this here border, which is deeper on the other side. So this is the Church of Sainte Marguerite, Église Sainte Marguerite. So that's where the name comes from, I'm guessing. Let's go inside and see what's up. I've never been in here before. Church is really impressive. Something else I've never seen is that all of the social distancing is protected by different saints, which is amazing. That was super cool. I've never been inside that church before. And it's neat to find the namesake of the neighborhood. Crazy. Definitely a really nice church. It was really nice in there. It's interesting because sometimes you walk into these churches, from the outside, with this steeple, I thought it was way more modern than it was, which makes sense. And I don't know, it just felt something, there's something really powerful about the way that they lined out like the statues and so forth. And I don't know, it's different. I really liked it. Very unique. Worth an extra little bit. All right, I'm gonna cross Rue Saint-Bernard here. If you're ever curious about which street I'm on, and figure out what this little park is after all. All right, Jardin Louis Majorel, ébéniste. Well, I learned a new word today. Ébéniste means cabinet maker. Who knew? And he got a park named after him. He must have made some really nice cabinets. Dang. That's a question I have. Will I ever get to a place where they name a park or a street after me in Paris? Probably not, but a man can dream. Seems like it's just a nice little park to come sit, have a picnic on a bench. I'll do a lap, but it seems like it's just mostly, flowers, which are dormant, some plants and so forth behind these hedges. Just a nice little slice of nature in the middle of the city. So I was surprised there was no playground in there, but just across the street and back right in the shadow of the church is a playground. So I'm gonna just go check and see if that's the same name. And it does look like there aren't a whole lot of kids there. Let's check this out. And because it looks like there are no kids, at least in this portion, I might be able to take a shot of a playground for once. This was named after Raoul Nordling. So Square Raoul Nordling. Interesting. Oh, and there's a little fountain. I like. This guy was the Swedish ambassador, I guess, or the Swedish consul during the Second World War. Interesting. I think there's some little birdhouses here too. That's awesome. I love that. All right, I'm gonna cut kind of up the middle of the quarter for right now on Rue Chanzy, which is a great name. And no, that is not a Space Invader, that is a fake. But that's one of the artists that is pretty fun. There are some of the tile artists that I really enjoy. Like, I feel like they do some fun, unique stuff, some that don't. I have opinions, that's not what we're here for. Let's keep exploring. The 11th is a good example of the mixture of architecture starting to shift. Look at this RV. That is what you gotta go camping in right there. Anyways, like right here we've got this like very modern brick bleh building next to this nice Osmanian building. And you start to see that more and more as you move out from the center of Paris. There's more and more of a mixture, depending on the neighborhood, of course. But yeah, you can see like a whole bunch of different styles all slammed together right here just on this street corner. And it's fun. May not always be what you imagine Paris to be, but hey, Paris isn't always what you imagine it to be. If I basically walk straight ahead, though, on Rue Chanzy, I'll have to take a jog at Voltaire, but on the other side of Voltaire, which I think is a pretty interesting little intersection in and of itself, there's another park, and that's kind of my goal right now. Before we get to Place de la Nation, one of the surprises that I had, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, was that the 11th doesn't stop in the middle of Place de la Nation. Like, there are a lot of really big roundabouts in town that are kind of like the corner point for a number of different arrondissements, and so I kind of assumed that's what was going to be happening here, but it's not. It actually is only cut in half, and the boundary goes beyond it. So that was interesting. This corner actually has a lot of good stuff going on. Curious about this cafe over here. Let me walk over. I'll show you Nordic. I think Nordic is the coffee shop that was over here that I went with French Laura not that long ago. So let's zag over there really quick, and we can zig back this way after we do that, and you know, show you some other good coffee spots that you can go in this arrondissement, or at least in this quarter. I'm not feeling the need for an afternoon coffee right now, so we're just gonna carry on. But wanted you to know it's there, it's nice. I really like this district because there's a lot of really good food and bars. No bars are open now, but you know, coffee shops, stuff like that. And it's not touristy, so if you've been to Paris a couple times before, I would really recommend coming to this part of town, the 11th into the 20th. I mean, you're gonna find a lot of great stuff. Like this chocolatier, whatever. I've been wanting to come here. It's been on my map for a long time, marked as a place to go. I don't know why, so let's go inside and check. I was waiting for this car to go away. He parked right when I was gonna try and take this shot, but you know, you can imagine what the door looks like, I suppose. Or we can go to the other side and you'll see it for yourself. Wow. Bonjour. Interesting, this one's the Equator. Venezuela, hold on a second, Equator. Amande caramélisée, sesame and thé vert, caramel mou. Super nice, guys. And here's another park. There were some Space Invaders over there, I think, that are now apparently grown over with ivy, so that's impressive. But this is Jardin de la Folie Titon. Looks really nice. Oh, I've been through here before. We should definitely walk through this. We gotta walk through this park. Way off the beaten path now. That was also pure gold. Oh, what is that church? I wanted to go in that church forever. We have to go in that. Sorry, we're never going to get to the end of this arrondissement. This is going to take me forever. But I've always wanted to go inside that church. I was just going to say it's a really nice little neighborhood park and feels very homey. You know, kids playing and everything else. But and lots of good sun. The weather out here is perfect today. But I've walked through here a few times in the past, and I've seen that church before, but I've never gone in. Let's fix that. Est-ce qu'on peut faire visiter l'église, monsieur?
Oui,
oui.
Monsieur.
Vous prenez... Oui, oui, c'est bien.
Ouais. Vas-y.
Excellent, merci.
J'en prie.
Merci, monsieur. Well, that was super cool. It's a Église Protestant Lutheran is what it says on this side, and then over here it's got the Korean Presbyterian Church. So it looks like it's got dual purposes. It's really fun. And that's one of the reasons I love like this neighborhood, and as you get out of the center, you get a lot more flavor as you go. It's cool. It was nice to hear them practicing in there. And the wooden beams, like those rounded arches, were so nice. Very simple, small church, really nice. And it looks like a cooking class that we're walking by right now. Oh, it's a pottery. It's a pottery shop. You can make your own plates. There's too much to see and do in this neighborhood. Like, honestly, impossible. Impossible in one video. It's crazy. Like, you can spend a lifetime getting to know this city and never, ever get to know it. And if you're into German food, you've got Café Titon. It's apparently a German cafe. Lots of German beer in the window. There's so much stuff here. Okay, here's what I was talking about. Rue Chienzi ends on Voltaire here, and there's a jog over there, which we're gonna go around to the left. That's how we're gonna get to that other park that I arbitrarily chose as my next destination. And then we will end at Place de la Nation, or Nation Square, because, you know, seems like a good spot to end. It's got its own lampposts and everything. Jardin Émile Gallet, a glass artist. There's lots of craftsman style artists that are being paid homage in these parks, which is really kind of cool. And I think that lends itself to the history of the neighborhood very well. Nice little park. I like that. Again, just a chill neighborhood park. So, from here, let's find the fastest way to... Oh, I know where I am. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Sort of. A little bit turned around. And it's just for fun. Rue de Nice. Nice is the first town I lived in France. So there you go. Also, I was totally wrong. I realized where I'm at, and I am the opposite end... Not the opposite corner, but like I'm at the wrong corner to get to Place de la Nation. Which is good, because it means we're gonna loop around, do the long way to get there, and we'll see if we find anything else between here and there. And that sounds pretty great. All right, here we are. We're Rue de Charonne meets Boulevard de Charonne, and we've made it to our final boundary street. If we wanted, we could go to Père Lachaise. If we just hung a left, it's not far from here, but that is out of bounds. Instead, we're headed to Nation, or Nation. Of course, I got that wrong too. This is Avenue de Philippe Auguste, which means we've got to go one more set of streets up. Unless, yeah, we have to go up there. So close to this boundary. All right, now we're at our boundary street. At long last, I got confused there for a second. But here we are. Alexandre Dumas. I didn't realize that metro stop was here. But Boulevard de Charonne, here we go. All the way to Nation. And look, more outdoor workout equipment, just in case you aren't breaking enough of a sweat exploring the entire quarter. It's cool because I'm pretty sure this is a section of this street that I have literally never walked before. It's fun. It's always fun to walk into an area that I don't think I've ever been in before, at least as long as that lasts. And yeah, something special about it. I love exploring this city. I'm so glad I get to do this. Okay, now we're back into familiar territory. I've been to that Monoprix before. Okay, you can see Place de la Nation down there, but we're gonna come around from the top because it actually gets encircled. So we'll come around from the other side. And this is some other good news. The giant king statues that always make me think of Lord of the Rings, totally in bounds. I wasn't sure if they would be or not, but there they are. At least one of them is. A Corvette? That's out of bounds, but also awesome. Here's Place de la Nation. And one of the things I love about this square is some of the flourishes that are on tops of some of these buildings. It's amazing. I want that tower on my own house one day. This is a major metro station. I think you can call it a major one. It's definitely got a lot of lines that run through it, so you can make some swapsies when you're coming into town from the east. And it has a nice park in the middle that they just finished renovating like all of this a year or so ago, year and a half ago maybe. It's great. There's some cool stuff around here. Not as familiar with this area, to be honest, but it's nice to come over here. I hope you enjoyed this one to Sainte Marguerite in the 80 and 8 here today. In the 11th arrondissement of Paris, our 11th quarter in the 11th arrondissement, or our first quarter in the 11th arrondissement, however you want to phrase that. I think I'll wrap it up here. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever it is you are, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, probably for another day of exploration. But either way, looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.